Let's go back to last week. Hamline, another quality performance, kind of both on all three phases of the ball for you guys. But first, let's talk about defensively. You guys did a good job shutting down their running back, Austin Duncan, who came into the game and he hadn't been held under 99 yards. You guys held him for 66. What was the key to stopping him?
I just thought the biggest thing was reading our keys and getting pressure and keeping him contained. And he's a hard runner. And our defense did a great job. In fact, I think in the first half we had 4 possessions of theirs where we stopped them from scoring. We block a field goal, we have a pick, and then we get 2 fourth-down stops. That certainly helps. But we were fundamentally sound. Our kids tackled well, and we were aggressive, and we were all getting to the football. And that's something that we needed to do.
And had been a change from like when you played Carleton, and Carleton had success running against you guys, and now same type of situation, you step up against Hamline. Were you just more aggressive on the defensive side?
Yeah, and I just think that's one good coaching point that came out of the Carleton game is you can't just show up and think you can perform. I just think our guys were probably a little bit more focused, and nothing taken away from Carleton at all. It's just our guys. Knew he was a really good back and knew they could move the football offensively. They saw what they did on St. Thomas, so our guys were in the right frame of mind, and that was what we needed.
Now, offensively, for the first time, you guys had a little bit more passing yards than running. Was that kind of you knew that going into the game that you were going to be able to have success throwing the ball against Hamline?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those deals. You watch enough film that where can you take advantage of teams, and you really got to take what a defense gives you. And we felt we could open it up a little bit. Plus, we wanted to get this whole Griffin, passing yardage stuff, all-time leading passer stuff out of the way and do it at home, and so there was a little intent there too, and so happy for him and what he's been able to accomplish, but I really felt that we had all 2 phases of our running. We could run, we could pass, and when you mix both well, you move the football, and we were able to do that.
And so finally, you did talk about Griffin Neal. That was my next question about, we're going to go down in the history of Concordia as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. And I'll ask you the same question I asked him. What do you think is more impressive about his record for the all-time passing yardage leader? Is it physically? Because in your system, the quarterback takes a lot of abuse. It's not like in some other teams where he might get hit once or twice a game in the drop-back system. When you're running the option, you're going to get popped all the time. So he takes a beating. And to be able to in there and last throughout the whole 3 years that he's done, or is it more impressive mentally what he's done, been able to read the defense and stay in tune because you guys do a lot of running, and he's also got to switch back to passing mode?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say they're equally as important. You look at the read, and what we do is so valuable and key. If he gets us in the wrong read, there's going to be a lot of frustration. He doesn't miss many reads, and we do it a ton. We drill these quarterbacks like you wouldn't believe. I mean, they've seen everything come at him, but he is a big, strong, durable kid. And when you run our offense, you need to be that, because we are going to use your legs, and we're going to use your arm, and we're going to use your mind, and he's got all 3 of those. So I would say they were equally as important, and we sure are happy in the way he's performed and how he gets better each and every week and each and every year, and we're guaranteed 2 more weeks, and we want the best.
And finally, about Griffin, just a word or a sentence, and I say the word and I say his name, Griffin Neal.
All-time great quarterbacks.
Now let's look ahead to Saturday. A big contest. It's one of those circle games of the season where you get the schedule before the year comes out and you circle the big games, and St. Thomas is always going to be one of those games. Is it hard for you to, I know you preach one game at a time and every game's the same, that's the way you got to prepare, but is it hard for you going into this game to keep the guys settled down, knowing what's at stake and knowing, at this part of the season that everything is on the line?
Really, this year's been a little bit different that way, Jim. I think over the years, we might try to get a little more hyped up for certain games, and this year we've just taken a whole different approach, and just each week it's a week to prepare and to be ready, and I don't care who we're playing. we need to be at the best of our game, because it's really about us and executing and taking what a defense gives us and being fundamentally sound defensively and reading our keys and getting to the football and defending the pass and playing very well in special teams. I mean, all three phases are important each and every week. It's just the different color jerseys show up. So really this week has not been an overly hyped week. It's just us going about doing our business and getting prepared and being healthy. This time of the year, we're into week 9 right now, and there's obviously bumps and bruises in everybody's camp, but that's as important too. And for us, it hasn't been a rah-rah week, and our kids really have been in playoff mode since our loss to Bethel, because over the years it's tough to get 2 teams in, and if you do get 2 teams in, that second team's probably a 1-loss team. It's not going to probably be a 2-loss team, and that's something that we know, and we've got to be ready.
Now, as far as the game goes, usually St. Thomas has had success against you guys putting points on the board and being successful offensively. Does there have to be a bigger kind of tactical change that you're going to have to do going against them, or is it just kind of a mindset of your defensive players?
Yeah, I just think it's all in a mindset and in believing that you can get the job done and just play within our system and read your keys and be physical. I mean, it's just going to be a physical game. I mean, they got great size, have outstanding athletes, and they do what they do, and they make no bones about it. Last year we couldn't stop the run, and it's obviously they like to play power football, play action, and they'll test it deep here and there. But we got to do a better job at that. And offensively, we have never been really consistent on moving the football, and that's something that we need to do a better job of. Thought last year in the first half we did a pretty good job of that, but we need to continue that throughout a 60-minute game. I mean, these type of games, it's going to take 60 minutes. It's going to take 60 minutes, win or lose, and so we need to be ready for 60 and play a full 60.
Got great feedback about you reminiscing about your playing days as you're coming up kind of on a 25-year anniversary. Same thing with you playing against St. Thomas. It always seems the last 4 years, and then also with your games, it always seems like it's a high-scoring event. Teams were putting up, combining for 50 points. What do you remember about your games, especially like sophomore year? You ended up beating them at their place to win the title. But then, both junior and senior, the winning scores are in the high 30s, and the other teams got high 20s. So
Right.
They might have to be great games.
Oh, they're great games, and really when you looked at it, St. Thomas, man for man, they probably were the most talented team within our league, it seemed like, and we just always found a way to win. And you're right, they were some high-scoring games. I remember our sophomore year, actually, after that game, we won the championship. That was what sealed the deal. And we were down 21-10 or something early, and then we end up fighting back and end up winning 30-something to 24 or whatever it was, but we ended up winning the game, and it was just, kind of like flip the switch. It's time to play. We've given up enough. Now it's time to play. And then, we found a way to win. So we had memorable games, and they had some great players. Obviously, games like that, you love playing in them, and you always remember them.
Good luck on Saturday.
Hey, thank you.